Hey guys, it's Mad Morta back with another GameCube portable update and a couple other things that I've been up to. Um, as you can see, it looks pretty different. I mean, same shape and everything, but completely disassembled, gutted, and redone, and black. But I had to repaint it. Um, Basically, what had happened was I decided to make a Wii portable next. So I put all my money into that and got all the parts for it, was ready to get started, and I had had my GameCube portable posted for sale for a while on Craigslist, and someone decided to buy it, so I sent it out to him. And I don't have really any income besides what I do for this, so I used pretty much all my money to get it out there safely. But it must have gotten, rattled up because some little wire in here got disconnected, and so they sent it back to have that fixed, but they didn't package it properly. They had it face down in the bottom of the box like this, with one layer of bubble wrap underneath it and everything piled up on top of that. And it's an uneven surface. I mean, if you can imagine with like the joystick over here sticking up, like that would put pressure here and here, and then pressure from the bottom up here, and be basically putting all that pressure on this joint right here, which, as you guys know, is glued together. So it didn't have a chance really, and it came here in several pieces. So I didn't get to sell it, and I didn't have money to fix it because I spent my money shipping it out there. So I was pretty mad, pretty bummed, and just upset, just overall upset and tired, and just not wanting to work on it. Because if I knew I had to work on it, I wouldn't have sold it in the first place. That was kind of the main reason for selling it, was I was done with it and wanted to move on. But my Wii portable has been on pause for like a month now, because I've been trying to get this done, so amongst some other things, but I was already started on the Wii, and then I had to pause it to basically rebuild this from scratch. The good news is that nothing on the inside got broken, but I will be replacing a couple parts with better stuff. So, we're gonna see how this goes, but I'm still not happy. But I did fix it, the case. So that's progress. I used hot glue. I did it a little bit differently this time to try and make it a bit tougher so that can't happen. What I did was I used hot glue on this side, and then I used epoxy on this side so that it's firm and tough on the outside, but softer and more sticky on the inside. Because apparently hot glue really sticks to the stuff. It will not let go. I had put this on a while back, and I had to take it off again because it was crooked, and it took everything I had to pull this square off the rest of it. I'm not kidding. It was really on there, and that was just with hot glue. So I'm hoping that'll add some strength to it, because epoxy for plastic is basically just plastic, and because it's so hard, it also has a tendency to crack or be brittle, as opposed to really being tenacious like hot glue. So hopefully the combination of the two will add some strength. In addition to that, I used Bondo body filler for the majority of it, and then only used the glazing on spot putty for the really, really minor stuff, which is supposed to strengthen that as well. So hopefully it's a lot tougher. We'll see. Hopefully we won't see, actually. I take it back. I don't want to jinx it. I did a lot of sanding. I can't even tell you. I got to like season 2 of House. I put House on in the background because it's something where it's got a plot, but not, I mean, it's enough to keep me interested, but not so important that if you look away, you're going to miss something dire to the overall plot. So, it's a good thing to have in the background while working, and my fingers got sore. This was a lot of sanding, and it still doesn't look perfect. There's still some stuff I'd change. Like right here, you can tell that it's a little bit uneven. There's a bit of a bump here, a bit of a bump here. And maybe with some more sanding, I could have made that perfectly smooth, but that just was not going to happen. But I did get, like, right here, you know, that's pretty good. And I got rid of the little, remember that cut that was here? Ignore the fact that it's open. It's just not together, right? That cut that used to be right here and on the other side, can't even tell that that was there. I smoothed this over. So overall, it's a lot smoother, although you probably can't tell from the front because it did look really nice when I finished it last time. But overall, you know, upset that I had to do it, but happy that I did do it. So, hurrah. I'm going to put a different audio amplifier board here. I found one that will let me do a headphone jack, so I'm going to try and add one. If not, then you still get stereo sound. And I found some smaller fans, so I might use those instead of the big ones. And it should push the same amount of air because they're from a Wii, not from a GameCube, so they're smaller, but the fins are the same size. So, yeah, so that's it for the GameCube part of this video. And I'm going to show you some other stuff I've been working on. This is a Game Boy Color that I did. If you guys follow my channel or have for a while, then you'll know that every once in a while I'll show you guys that I painted something, and I paint a lot more things than I upload to here because I usually just end up selling them, but I'm pretty happy with this. I think it came out really well. I 3D printed the Metroid logos front and back. I replaced this with a brand new, whatchamacallit, and the battery cover is also a brand new one that doesn't even match this console, but you can't tell because they're painted on the inside too. My only complaint with this was that when you're working with glossy paint, you can get a really, really nice, glossy, smooth, soft finish. But if you put just a little bit too much on at one time, you get this effect. This little crackly, looks like little tiny, I don't know, things got in the paint, but they didn't. It's just like a crackling effect. It's just right there, and it's really small. I mean, if you consider the grand scheme of the whole thing, it's really tiny, but it still kind of bothers me because I was really careful with this one because gloss paints, in my experience, have more of a tendency to do that than the other ones. But other than that, I'm really happy with how this feels and how it looks. This is nice. I like the colors. I see I did the on-off thing, and you know, pretty cool. So that's what I'm up to. I've got like, what, 4 colors? Yeah, I have 4 other Game Boy Colors to paint. I got them in a trade for a Nintendo 64. With a bunch of other stuff. It wasn't just Game Boy Colors. But they're all missing this, and they all need this replaced. But luckily, my local game store, I can get this and 2 of these for like $5, so that's not expensive. And so I also have an airbrush that my amazing sister got me. And I haven't gotten to play with it yet because I'm waiting on a hose, like an air hose that goes from the compressor to the airbrush. And that hasn't arrived yet, but I've got my airbrush and my compressor. The compressor's a lot smaller than you'd think, actually. I've also got some GameCubes to paint, but I think I'm going to do the Game Boys next. I also have this, and this has been kind of ongoing for a while. This is something for me, not something to sell like with the Game Boys. Because, you know, if I'm going to play Game Boy games, I'm going to play them on my GameCube, on my TV, with my Wavebird, the way Game Boys were meant to be played. But this is really for me. And I'm not doing it because I want to do it. I'm doing it because I need to if I want to play my PlayStation 2. I think, in my personal opinion, that the left joystick should be in the top left, and the D-pad should be in the bottom left, or somewhere else. I don't care where the D-pad is. I don't use it in like any game ever. But I think it's uncomfortable to reach all the way down here, or more accurately, all the way down here for movement. I mean, this is as far as I can reach. I can't reach any further than this. So like with a joystick, that's just moving to the right is like a stretch. So I find that uncomfortable. And maybe it's because, you know, I play GameCube and Wii and Xbox stuff. But this is uncomfortable. And I get why PlayStation originally did it, you know, because they had a D-pad and then the 4 buttons like a Super Nintendo basically. And they kind of just tacked on the joysticks as an afterthought. But I don't get why they would keep it for the 2, 3, and 4. But that's just me, and I know a lot of you are opinionated on that and love how the PlayStation controller is, but maybe I've got short thumbs or something. But I cannot play the game for more than like half an hour like this. It's just the most uncomfortable thing ever. I mean, the joystick might as well be out here, you know, so I'm switching them around, and I did do this already, and I painted it. The purple is not the original color. I painted it purple. It came out really well, I thought, but it's actually blue, as you can see on the inside. But when I originally did it, I didn't use a Sony brand brain to wire to all the buttons. I did it with a third-party controller, but I thought it was comfortable, and it was kind of a prototype. It was ugly too, because this wasn't Bondoed. It was just epoxied, and that was it. So I've since Bondoed it, and primed it and Bondoed it some more. Primer kind of helps with seeing any little imperfections, so I'll go add some more. And hopefully I'll be able to find a PS2 controller over the weekend at the flea market. Cross your fingers, guys, because then I'll be able to get this done. And then after that, I'll be able to move on to my Wii Portable. And as you can see, I made some attempt to it already, but it was having some issues. Then the GameCube thing happened, and I decided, you know, I'm broke and I need money, so I'm going to paint some stuff, because that's kind of how I make money, is I sell, you know, stuff like this. Or my Bowser GameCube's for sale too, but you know, I don't make a lot with this. I mean, just enough to cover the cost of the console and then the paints, and then a little bit extra for the time put in, but not enough to really justify doing it as like a job or anything. But you know, I enjoy doing it, so I do. But pretty much the stuff I make off of my consoles pays for my hobby, and that's it. It just pays for itself. But I'm gonna try and sell some of these things, and you know, get back to the Wii Portable, which hopefully I'll do a work log for. But you know, if not, I do want to do like a work log for, you know, side stuff like the Game Boys and the GameCubes, because I do paint a lot of stuff and I don't upload it here, so I think that'd be kind of cool to do. So that's kind of the end of this work log. So thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned.